Welcome to the Advanced Resources Web Series Part 1. Advanced Resources is a full-service staffing company with a focus on clients' needs and consultants' careers. Our goal is to create workforce solutions for our clients and provide career opportunities for people. Our corporate development program today will focus on time management. As always, please let us know if there are any other topics or training opportunities that would be beneficial to you. Today we will cover time blocking, prioritization, setting an effective meeting agenda, and go over some email do's and don'ts. Our first item is time blocking. This is a useful tool to start organizing your day into manageable chunks of activity. The goals of time blocking are focus. Let your mind really work on the stated task. Limit distractions by shutting down Outlook and putting your phone away. Close your office door and maybe put a Do Not Disturb sign on your instant messenger or on your cube. It may be difficult at first, but if you set boundaries, most people will respect them. Time blocking also helps you stop procrastination, and it gives you a set list of what will be accomplished that day. Over time, knowing that you are knocking out work efficiently can help to reduce some stress. These are all really good ideas, but how? How can you possibly carve time out of your busy day? The goal is really to start small and potentially utilize some project management techniques. First, try to determine what really needs to be done. How long will it take? What are the tasks? And similar to an agile project, break them down into stories. Allow yourself 25 minutes of active time working on a specific task, and then try to give yourself a 5-minute mental break. Don't try to time block your entire day. It's not realistic. Nobody can work a straight 8 hours without interruption or without a break. Start with 2 to 4 25 to 30-minute activities before and after lunch. If needed, use a timer or set your phone and then put the phone away to remind yourself and to actually become more aware of time as it passes. Experts say that you can increase your productivity by 150% using time blocking. And we all want to gain focus and maintain our precious IQ points. The best way to do this is to schedule the most important work that you have for your most productive part of the day. Are you a deep thinker right after lunch or a deep sleeper? Do you thrive after your post-workout endorphins are kicking? You dictate the time that you will be blocking. Inform people of your time blocking goals and ask them to allow you to give it a shot. If you get interrupted, ask your coworkers if you can follow up with them better later. Time blocking also needs to be addressed for email and follow-up. Make sure that you schedule at least one follow-up time block before and after lunch, and let people know what those times will be so that they can expect your response. After a few weeks, people will start to learn your schedule, and you will become better at time blocking. Just like an agile project can improve its velocity, you will become better at using that time to actually get the task at hand completed. Another thing you can do is actually time block at home. We all have goals, financial goals, home projects, all of the things that we need to get done in our personal lives. You can use time blocking at home to set annual, monthly, or weekly goals. Schedule sessions with your family to make sure that the goals are being met and to stay on track. Next, we're going to talk about prioritization. Prioritization will lead to reduced procrastination. As some people like to say, water is our most precious resource, but that is closely followed by time. Time that is needed at work, with our family, continuing our education, improving our health, hopefully having some fun, and of course doing more work. So how do we know what to prioritize when we're being pulled in so many different directions all the time? One way to become a better prioritizer is to become proactive. Stop living in a reactionary way. If you're constantly reacting to every email, every instant message, every bing of your phone, at the end of the day, you'll find yourself asking, what did you accomplish? Use time management skills such as time blocking, making a plan, and asking. When we want to know what is most important, we're trying to strive for where our energy should be directed and to remove wasteful activities. Do you really need reminders on your meetings popping up every 10, 15 minutes? What works for you? Do you just need 5 minutes to prepare for a meeting, or do you need an hour? Can you shut down your Outlook for a few hours a day and stop seeing all of the email previews? Every one of those that comes up pulls your attention away from the task at hand. Instant messages from coworkers, friends, and family, constant emojis being popped up on your phone. Is all of this necessary during the day? And start by trying to just eliminate wasted time. Can you get back 15 minutes? Can you get back 30 minutes? What are the tools that will help you gain that time and push you into a more productive mindset? Finally, can the task be assigned to someone else? And more importantly, does it even need to be done? Prioritization is about value. Doing what is important will add value to your work. It will help you to become more organized and get things done. Additionally, it will improve your communication with your supervisor and coworkers. Asking them, is this where you want me to focus my energy, will add value to the organization. Studies have shown that average worker loses 2 hours a day due to interruptions. Think of all of the work that you could get done in 2 hours a day. This is 25% of our workday. After you've become better at prioritizing and scheduling your time, show your coworkers and your supervisors what you've done to improve and what other goals you have accomplished. Celebrate and highlight these wins. This way, your entire team can learn that time blocking, prioritization, and better time management in general will add value. The goal here is to go from being a bunch of minions running around to a mighty mouse who can focus on the task at hand and come in and save the day. Another useful tool in the prioritization of your tasks is using the Covey's time quadrant. This time quadrant helps you determine which one of the tasks needs to be done based on importance and urgency. Many of us have quadrant 1 items. They're urgent and important. Last-minute things that we're called to do, items that need to be done without much warning. This is life. This is work. So we have to be able to balance where these fall. Quadrant 2 is where we really would like to work. This is what needs to be done eventually. These are goals, projects, personal bucket item lists, things that are really important and require some strategy and some time. Too often these things fall off the radar because we're being pulled into the urgent categories. In quadrant 3, we spend a lot of time being in reaction mode. Things are being thrown at us, but we're not having enough time to actually stop and ask, is this important? Do I need to do this? This is where, as we get better at time management, we can push back and ask why and what value will this add? And in quadrant 4, these are items that are not urgent and not important. Truly, we should be spending no time in this quadrant, and if we find that we are, we need to eliminate these tasks. If you practice time management and time blocking and use this quadrant approach, you can begin to ask yourself where each of the tasks that you're doing throughout the day falls. And you'll become more adept at asking about quadrant 1 and quadrant 2 and eliminating quadrant 3 and quadrant 4 where possible. So many of us are called into meetings all day. How many meetings do you attend on an average day? 2, 3, 4, more? How do you work those into time blocking when half of your day or more is spent in an actual meeting? Have you ever stopped to wonder how many of these meetings you actually need to be in, or found yourself walking out of a meeting saying that was a waste of my time? Meetings have truly become a black hole of productivity. Many of us spend half of our day or more in the meetings and then ask ourselves, when am I supposed to get my work done? Become a better meeting manager by only inviting people that need to be there. If you feel like you've walked out of a meeting without a sense of purpose or without knowing why you were invited in the first place, don't invite others to your meeting simply as a courtesy because you feel like they would be offended if they were not invited. Ensure that they have a purpose or reason to be there. Set an agenda and stick to the agenda. Establish meeting rules. Make sure that people understand in your meetings, you do not play on your phone. We will start and end on time. We will follow the agenda. And if we get off topic, we will establish a parking lot for additional topics that need follow-up. Agendas actually make people feel prepared. It gives them the opportunity to know what they need to do before they get there. Of course, if you're done with your meeting early and you've covered everything in your agenda, do not feel the need to just simply continue filling time. Give them some time back in their day. We all know how precious it is. Going back to the agenda, it's so important because it really is the why of the meeting. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you creating a protocol? Do you require project sign-offs? Are you trying to schedule or establish an event? Elicit requirements? What is the goal of your meeting? In the agenda, you want to list the topics that you are going to cover, and if there are any outcomes, you want people to know that this is what we're trying to accomplish. We want to set a preliminary schedule. We would like a go or no-go meeting vote. It also allows people to bring questions and material in advance. As we discussed, ensure the invitee list makes sense and that they have an actual role. Run your meeting. Running is an active word. It requires energy. And to be a good meeting leader, you must expend a little energy. If the meeting leader is speaking most of the time and unable to, they need to assign someone to take notes. But regardless, in the meeting, somebody needs to be assigned the role of note taker. Establish a parking lot. Make sure that conversations are around your agenda and set a follow-up for after your meeting to discuss items that go off track. Ensure that everyone has a chance to be heard. Do not let somebody run away with the meeting and talk over everyone else or their ideas. And as you're ending the meeting, set expectations. Will there be another meeting on this? What was the end result? And finally, of course, post your meeting minutes so that everybody has the opportunity to review. When creating your attendee list, remember, you can send meeting minutes to all participants of your project or your team. They may not need to attend the meeting, but may just be as well served by receiving the meeting minutes. Make sure that action items are documented and make sure that you assign follow-up. Just a note, action items should be discussed prior to the next meeting. Don't take a part of your meeting to go over action items that should already be completed. And help others become better meeting leaders. Insist on an agenda if you're invited to a meeting. If you don't feel the meeting requires your attendance, ask why they need you and potentially bow out. Let them know, I don't think that I need to be here, but I'd love to read the meeting minutes. Finally, a few tips on email do's and don'ts. How many times do you think you check your email every day? Remember that your email is not your to-do list. Email should be part of your time blocking. As we discussed, schedule at least one time block before and after lunch to ensure that you are checking email and getting back to people who need it. Emails can be misinterpreted. Read and then reread your emails and ensure that the message you are sending is the message that you are trying to convey. Make sure you turn on your spell check. There have been countless interesting emails received based on bad spell check. Should you write this? Is this email better to be said something in person? Should you get up or make a phone call rather than writing down an email, especially if there's any emotion involved? And enhanced subjects can actually help set expectations. I often include items like action required or response needed in my subject lines to let readers know that this is actually an email that someone is waiting on a response for. Make sure that you're not sending one-word responses such as thanks or got it or okay. I guess got it is 2 words. Regardless, everybody understands that when an email is received, if they have clarifying questions, they will ask. Otherwise, as adults, we need to move on. Don't create long, unreadable monologues. Don't use silly signatures, funny fonts, red lettering, and all the other things that maybe do brighten up a little bit of an email, but can lead to a distraction. Large attachments can clog inboxes. If possible, use a shared folder or discuss them through a zip file or a shared meeting screen. And we all have probably received plenty of reply all disasters. Just don't do it. I would like to thank you for your time and invite you to check out our website at www.advr.com. We are on Facebook at Advanced Resources Group, Inc., Twitter at ADVRGRP, or on LinkedIn at Advanced Resources Group. There are many advanced resources out there, so please look for our social media logo. I appreciate your time, and I hope to see you at our next webinar series. Thank you very much.